it's your girl Jane. Welcome to Weekly Roundup, a show where I talk about the hottest topics in K-pop. Where today, really y'all? Really? Crazy this week when a fight broke out at a Got7 concert in China between the Korean fan site master of the fan site I Got You Mark and a Chinese fan. So warning, I'm about to show a clip of said fight, so if you do not like violence, please click here or go to the time in the corner to skip ahead. Once again, I'm warning you, please don't say I didn't warn you. Here the clips are now. So as these clips started to go viral and the news of the fight started to spread online, both sides of the altercation took to social media to explain exactly what went down. The cousin of the Chinese fan who was attacked explained her perspective of how it went down, saying, "How it happened, I Got You Mark fan site wanted to take photos and kept resting her camera on my cousin's shoulder, treating her like a tripod. The doctor has already checked through my cousin's shoulder's injury, and she kept resting it so that it kept pushing my cousin even lower. Eventually, my cousin realized she was so low she couldn't even see the stage. So she turned around and pushed away I Got You Mark's hand, but in the process, it caused I Got You Mark's glasses to fall down, and so I Got You Mark started to hit her. I Got You Mark was hitting my cousin nonstop, even pulling her hair, although my cousin did return a punch. But I Got You Mark was a lot taller. There was no way my cousin could have saved herself. In the end, my cousin didn't make a big fuss out of it because she wanted to continue watching the show, but I Got You Mark continued and persisted to hit my cousin and even kept pulling my cousin's hair, angrily speaking in Korean next to my cousin's ear, but we had no idea what she was saying. The fansite master took to Twitter to also explain her side before ultimately deactivating her account. She stated, "I never hit her first. I was hit by her before the situation and my glasses are broken and lost. I always wear glasses, but they're broken. Then I got hurt on my face. I admit it's a fault that I hit someone. However, it's also obvious that she firstly hit me. It's unfair I'm attacked by a lot of people with bad words as I'm a fan site master. The situation is twisted. It's up to you if you trust me or not. I'm so sorry to the people who've liked my pics." Now, before I even get into the story, y'all, this is exactly why, even if by some miracle I have enough money to buy pit tickets, I never get pit tickets because no shame, but like getting pushed around and being squished and people just like invading my personal space will never be worth seeing Oppa up close. I'm just putting it out there. Secondly, why in the world would you think it was okay to just rest your camera on somebody's shoulder without asking? Now, while I was reading around, I saw some people assume and speculate it might have been because she was on that, well, I'm a fan site master tip and I can do whatever I want type of thing. And even though I've enjoyed many fan site pictures, it has never been to the point where I just felt like the fan sites could do whatever they wanted to me. Like, no sis. Like, I'm grateful, but there's limits. Now, even though I Got You Mark stressed that the only reason she hit the Chinese fan was because the Chinese fan knocked her glasses off, I feel like, I mean, maybe this is just me, but if somebody knocked my glasses off, the first thing I would assume is that it was an accident, especially in a concert that's super crowded. That is, unless I felt like the person had like a reason to be mad or violent or aggressive towards me in the first place. So in my opinion, I feel like I Got You Mark knew they were doing something wrong and rude by resting their camera on the Chinese fan's shoulder. Therefore, when the Chinese fan tried to move their hand away and accidentally knocked their glasses, they probably automatically saw that as like a retaliation and trying to attack them. So they automatically went into Street Fighter 2 mode. Either way, in my opinion, I Got You Mark was definitely in the wrong. Moving on. So in a recent interview Hyuna did while promoting her newest comeback, when asked about the possibility of 4-minute reuniting, Hyuna stated that she thinks it's possible if the opportunity arises. Now, the reason why this is so shocking is that many people, including myself, assume that their split back in June wasn't really a friendly one, seeing as after the news was announced, all the members of 4-Minute unfollowed Hyuna on Instagram, and the youngest member, Sohyun, actually went through her Instagram and deleted all the pictures that featured the two together. So when Hyuna stated this, everyone was kind of like, but girl, girl. Now, in my opinion, this like statement was kind of throwaway because it's not like she's gonna just be like, get off, get on, you look great, get off, over here, get off, get off, get off, over here, oh my gosh, get off, get off. What do you think the possibilities of 4-minute reuniting is? Excuse me? You mean those girls who unfollowed me? On the gram. They unfollowed me on the gram, not the Snapchat, not the Facebook, not the YouTube, but the gram. What are you even doing, sir? What is this? But it really does make me wish that they had like a proper farewell, because I feel like questions like this will keep coming up and it will keep soliciting like those vague, just like open-ended answers. And while I can appreciate the fact that she's probably just trying to keep it like politically correct and professional, I feel like unless you know you're gonna come back with 4-minute in the next 1 to 2 years, what you're really just doing is like stringing fans along, in my opinion, and kind of giving them false hope. Last but not least, on August 5th, Supergirl group SNSd celebrated their 9-year anniversary. And while this was a very joyous occasion, it did not come without drama. Now, while 9 years as a group is a crazy achievement in general, the reason why it's so specifically important for SNSd is because they debuted with 9 members, and since then, 9 has always been like a special number in their history. Now, while they had 9 members for a majority of their career, as many of you know, in 2014, member Jessica Jung was removed from the group and just mess ensued, including her taking to her Weibo account to express that she was shocked that she was being forced out of the group for no justifiable reason. Members of SNSd haven't really acknowledged Jessica by name since the split, although they've made some allusions to her in general. One recent example I can think of is when Tiffany was specifically asked about Jessica's comeback and what she thought about Jessica making a solo debut during one of her press conferences when she debuted as a soloist. Instead of addressing Jessica by name, she gave a really vague answer about everyone, like, or anyone who has been preparing an album and how they must have been working really hard. Compare that to when Jessica was asked about Tiffany, she addressed the situation head on. Now, before y'all get your panties in a bunch, I'm not trying to demonize SNSD because unlike Jessica, they're still under the strict control of SM, and I'm sure SM probably is giving the orders for them not to mention her. But the reason I bring this up is because leading to this 9th anniversary celebration, a lot of people were wondering if the SNSD members would acknowledge Jessica, because although she didn't make it to that 9th year, she was there for a majority of their career. It was an important part of SNSD history, and it's part of the reason why this 9th year anniversary is so important and so special. So the issue arose when SNSD member Tiffany took to Instagram to celebrate their 9th year anniversary by posting a picture. The issue then was that the picture was one of their early pictures back when they were still 9, but Tiffany actually cropped out Jessica's picture and uploaded it with the 8 other members. Compare that to members Sooyoung and Seolhyun, who stuck to mostly post Jessica images and video to celebrate the occasion. So a lot of people are accusing Tiffany of purposely using an old picture, cropping Jessica out to be shady. Now, in Tiffany's defense, a lot of times when you're celebrating like an anniversary or something where you grew over time, like you tend to celebrate using a picture from like the beginnings or when you were really young. So it's not really crazy that she wanted to use a young picture of SNSD. Not to mention, even though I'm sure SNSD has had plenty of photo shoots since Jessica left, that's 7 years of precious pictures that are now considered off limits just to avoid having the Jessica conversation. And even if Tiffany was trying to be shady towards Jessica, I feel like I personally can't criticize her because, I mean, I have to admit, Jessica's iconic hashtag just because, when she just happened to have a sale on the day of the anniversary, she was removed from SNSD for a clothing line, that kind of made me laugh. So I'd kind of be hypocritical if I was all of a sudden adverse to shade. Now, shadiness aside, whether it was rude or disrespectful, I feel like is another like story. Now, if I'm being 100% honest, I do find it a bit weird that they just kind of erased Jessica from their history and memory, especially on such an important occasion, and because of the fact that like she did play an important role in SNSD history. Like people always say that SNSD made Jessica. Well, conversely, Jessica made SNSD. as did Taeyeon, as did Sooyoung, as did Yoona, as did all the members. The reason why SNSD is who it is today is because those specific 9 members got together 9 years ago and formed this group. But at the same time, I do understand that 2 years ago when the event did occur, it did disrupt the fandom. It did create a lot of, animosity. It did make some awkwardness among the fandom, definitely, and most likely among the group as well. So I can also understand that it's just easier for them to walk around the issue and not to talk about it. So with that being said, I feel like, yeah, it probably would have just been best for Tiffany to follow what Sooyoung and Seolhyun did and just use a picture from post Jessica SNSD. I mean, it's not that bad of a flub, but I feel like now, instead of focusing on the 9-year achievement, you have a situation where people are digging up argument, fights, debates, and battles that were better left in 2014. But that's just my opinion. As always, guys, I want to know yours. Do you think it was wrong for Tiffany to use that old picture of SNSD and crop out Jessica, and she should have just stuck to newer pictures? Or do you think people are being too sensitive and reading way too into it, and they should just let things be as is? Do you think that there's a possibility that 4Minute will reunite anytime soon? And what do you think the relationship between Hyuna and the other former members is? And last but not least, who did you feel was in the wrong at the Got7 concert fight? And do you yourself have any K-pop concert horror stories? I know I do. That EXO concert in February, that was something else. Make sure to let me know down below, and as always, guys, if you like the video, make sure to like the video. If you love the video, make sure to share the video. See you next time, and that's it for Weekly Wrap Up.